Well, it is time to go ahead and switch out my breeding quail for some new breeders from my grow out pen over there. So that means I've got a whole lot of birds to process today. A little bit of a rainy day today, so I'm kind of dodging the rain showers. I think I got a little bit of time here, I can get it done. But the plan is pretty simple. I'm just going to take these guys. People ask me all the time, how old do you keep your quail? And you know, it varies, honestly. A couple of years sometimes before I switch them out. These guys are about 1.5 years old, maybe a little over, I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but they're well over 1.5 years, or at least 1.5 years, I should say. And they're still laying eggs, still laying fertile eggs, but I've got grow outs in this pen that are ready to process, so it's a good time to go ahead and just switch them out and get new breeders in here. So the plan is, I'm going to take these guys out, I'm going to cull them as I take them out of the pen, throw them in a bucket, take them over there and get them processed, try to get the sandbox cleaned up a little bit. Then I'll select my breeders out of the grow out pen there, move them into this cage, and process the rest of those birds there. So I've got quite a bit to do here. Hopefully I can get it all done. Like I said, dodging rain showers and not get rained out. But we should be okay. So I can show you some of this I can't. I'm going to be doing a bloodless cull on these birds, which basically just means I'll kind of show you on video. YouTube doesn't like me to show the actual dispatching of the animals, so I can just kind of explain how it's going to work, and we'll go from there. So let me go get my bucket, get ready, and we'll get in here and start getting these done. Oops, I forgot. I already brought my bucket over here. It's right here. So pretty simple. Let me grab a bird out and I'll kind of show you how this is going to work. So I'm going to cull them all and then go process them. Basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the bird like this in my hand, hopefully you can see that, grab right behind its head, and I'm going to pull. And that's going to dislocate it, and that's going to basically dispatch the bird about as quickly and humanely as I know how. Again, I can't show this all on video. You got to be kind of careful. You pull too hard, you'll pop the head completely off, which is kind of a mess. You don't want to do that. But I should be able to do that. But basically just a thumb right behind the base of his skull, and then pull. And you'll feel it dislocate, and then he's going to go in the bucket while I get the rest of them out. So I'm going to go ahead and get this done. Okay, one down. There will be a little bit of activity afterwards. The bird is dispatched. What you're there is just the nerves firing off. So you know, don't be disturbed by that when that happens. This gives it time for the nerves to kind of calm down before I get them processed over there. So let me go ahead and get the rest of these done. I'll do that off camera because, like I said, I can't show you all that process anyway. It's just grabbing birds, dispatch, throw in the bucket, and we'll move over there and get them processed. All right, that didn't take long. Got them all in here in the bucket, ready to go get processed. So let's move over there and we'll get that done. Okay, I'll put some gloves on for this. See, am I in camera? Yeah, I think I'm in camera. Hopefully I'm in camera. We'll see. So, pretty simple process I'm going to be using here. It's really not too complex. Easiest way I know to process a whole bunch of birds. I've shown this on video before, but I figured this is what I got to get done today, so we'll show it on video again. So basically I'm just going to take the bird, hold it over the bucket here. I'm going to hold it breast side up with the wings out, grab the skin, and you should be able to just pop that open. Place my thumb underneath the breast and just pop it open just like that. Pair of scissors to cut the bone right at the wings. And that's pretty much all there is to it. That's it. And I got a bowl of water here to throw them in. So, again, I'll show a few more just to show you kind of how quick this can actually go. This one popped an egg out. Happens sometimes. And People ask if I save the legs. Sometimes I do. I'm not going to bother with it today. I've got quite a few birds to process, and there's just not much meat on the legs, honestly. Seems like a little bit more work than it's worth. So usually I don't always bother saving the legs, and I'm not going to bother with it today. So, I've got a bag in this bucket, but it's not wanting to stay open, so we'll see if we can make it work without getting the bucket too nasty. There goes another egg. Just like that. Bucket's too tall to hold that bag. Okay, I'm gonna get the rest of these done because they're all gonna go the exact same way. I'll be right back with you. All right, so got that done. Now I'm gonna, it's kind of wet. Hopefully it doesn't affect it too much. We're gonna work on getting this sandbox cleaned up a little bit. It's not terribly dirty, but before I throw the new birds in there, it's just easier to clean it out right now. So the way I do that is, I just have a little string there. I'm gonna throw I need to go get some more sand actually now that I look at it. I'm getting kind of low on sand. You know, I'm thinking about this. I don't know if I have any sand. I may need to go get some more. Now I'm thinking about it and looking at this. I don't know if there's enough sand in here to bother sifting out. It's pretty thin. So anyway, we'll do a little bit of it anyway. What I normally do though is just take the sand, sift it like so, throw the droppings in the bucket, and go throw those on the compost pile. And, you know, a little sand in your compost pile is not going to hurt anything. So, I mean, a lot of times, you know, I'll just throw the sand in there. I think there's enough sand in here. Now, I was looking at it initially, didn't think there was, but there is. There's quite a bit. And I like to start in one section, kind of sift all the sand that's over here, and then work my way around the sandbox so I know all this stuff over here is already clean. And just like so, we'll just sift it out. Now, I'm not going to get every single grain of sand in there, but most of it really, and that's all we need. So, you know, really, I don't know if there's any reason for you to sit here and watch me do this whole process. It's just going to take me a little bit to get through all the sand. So I'll probably go ahead and just finish this up and then come back and show you what it looks like when it's done. This shouldn't take too long. I mean, oops, the shovel just fell apart. Maybe 15 minutes or so. It's really not that big of a job. It's not that hard. It's a lot easier without a lunch birds in here though. So let me go ahead and get this done, and then I'll be back with you. Hopefully I wasn't blocking the camera the whole time. You got to see what I was doing, but it's pretty self-explanatory if you didn't. All right, cleaned out. Let me bring you a little bit closer. You can kind of see what it looks like here. I didn't get every single dropping out of there, but most of them, the vast majority of them. We got some pretty good clean sand in here now, ready for the new breeders to move into this hutch. And we'll go from there, but let me bring you in real close. We'll show you kind of what the sandbox looks like now. Okay, I don't know how well that's showing up on camera, kind of looking into a dark hole, but you got some pretty clean sand in here now, so should be good. Not a whole bunch. I could use probably, there's a little clump there I can get out. Could probably use another half a bag of sand in here, but I think I'll wait on that. Maybe a whole bag, actually. I could probably throw a whole bag in here, but that's enough, honestly. They just need something to kind of bathe in a little bit, you know, to dust around in, and that's going to be plenty. No sense in putting more than I need in there. That should work. So, looks pretty good right now. I think it's cleaned out and ready to go. All right, so these are my new birds, my grow outs that I'm going to be selecting my new breeders from. They're I don't know, 10, 11 weeks old, somewhere right around in there, fully grown, laying eggs, getting fertile eggs out of them, so it's a good time to go ahead and replace them. So I'm going to be selecting probably 15 hens, which may be the majority of the hens, I don't know. So 15 hens roughly, 3 roosters, and that should give me enough, probably maybe 4 roosters just in case something happens to one of them. And that should give me plenty to have fertile eggs, and move them over to the other pen, and the rest of these will get processed. And everybody wants to know, how do you select which ones are going to be your future breeders? Honestly, I mean, I raise jumbo pharaohs, so you know, you can feather sex them. They all look pretty much the same. Every once in a while I get, I don't know if you can see this bird up at the front, it's kind of white. I do kind of like that bird, it's kind of a cool bird, but I probably will go ahead and leave that one out if I have enough hens. Sweat running down to my eyes. If I have enough hens to leave that one out, I probably will, because I want to stick with the jumbo pharaoh. And really, I'm just going to pick the biggest ones. I don't know how much of a choice I'm going to get with the hens, because like I said, 15 may be about all I've got in there. But if I do have a choice, I'll pick the biggest ones, and then the rest of them will stay behind and they'll get processed. So if I can hold off from the rain, I'll get all that done today. But let me go take care of dumping those in the droppings I just cleaned out into the compost pile. Bring my pet carrier over here, and we'll start selecting birds out and get them moved over. All right, so I'm getting ready to select my birds over there, but something kind of maybe a little gross here. I'll give you fair warning, it may be a little disgusting, but it is kind of cool actually. People ask me all the time what I do to control flies. I don't have huge fly problems, because in the summertime I have black soldier flies that move in here, lay their eggs, and then their larvae kind of compost down my manure pile. I mean, they do a fantastic job, and they keep the flies away, really. I mean, there's some flies out here, but it's not a huge problem. There's not a ton of flies, so it's not a big problem. But I wanted to show you this. While I was processing those other, dispatching those other quail, I popped the head off of 1 or 2 of them. 2 of them actually. So I threw them underneath the hutch here because I knew I had the black soldier fly larvae in here, and they'll compost it down. Let me just show you what's going on here. This hasn't been but 30 minutes maybe since I threw those underneath here, and they're just covered with black soldier fly larvae, and they're already going to town on these. Let me show you this. Okay, so like I said, maybe a little gross, maybe not, but kind of cool. There, right there, you can probably see the black soldier flies have just engulfed that one, and they're already working on this one over here too. And they'll have that composted down probably by tomorrow. It'll probably be gone. I mean, they're just amazing composters. What you don't see is a ton of flies. I mean, there are a few flies flying around, but not a ton. They keep the flies out. I mean, it's just, they're incredible. They're so beneficiary, and they do such a good job of keeping my manure piles under control during the summer, and composting away any kind of animal matter that, you know, if I have a bird that passes for some reason I don't know and it goes underneath there, they take care of it in just a matter of a day or two. They're great, a great asset to have. All right, so let's work on selecting some birds. I think it's off camera, I got a little pet carrier down here that I'm going to toss these in as I go. But we're just going to open this up. That looks like a pretty good hen right there. Yep, that's a hen. So there's one. That looks like a pretty good hen. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to save the roosters for later. There's a hen. 5. Let's see what we got here. I got 5 in there so far. Here comes one. That's a pretty good one right there. Yep, that looks good. 6. There's one. 7. So I'm about halfway there. I think I'll go ahead and go throw these in the other cage, and I'll come back and get the rest. I try to pick the biggest ones, but honestly, I pretty much just grab what I can because it's kind of hard to separate them out. If I get all of them, if I get 15 of them in there, I'll look back through, and if I have some that look exceptionally big compared to those, I'll swap them out from there. It's a little bit easier to do it that way. Let me go dump these in the other hutch, and I'll be back and we'll get some more. Okay, so 7 over there, I believe. Maybe I should go recount just to make sure. 7, so I need 8 more. We'll see if I can get 8 more out of here. 8 more hens. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to have much of a choice to be too picky with the hens. That's a rooster. That's a hen. Oh my goodness, that's a fast hen. That's a hen. There's one. Those are all roosters. Let's see what we got on this side. I want to jump out the front if I'm not careful. There's another one. Yep, that's a hen. Two. Let's see what we got here. Three. Yep, three. Pretty good hen looking. Three. It looks like if that's a hen, that's a smaller hen. Let's take a look. That is a hen, but we'll go in here for now. Four. We're getting there. We're getting close. That's a hen. Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I can get 3 more out of here, we'll be good. That's a hen right there. I see her. Don't go in there. Don't go in there. 6. These look like that. That might be a hen. Let me see. That's a hen. 7. One more. One more good hen. Is that a hen? That's a hen. Look at that. We got 15. We got our number, 15. All right. Let me go dump these in, then we'll work on getting a couple roosters out of there. Okay. Got my 15 hens, and sorry, this is probably not a lot of fun to watch because it's just kind of hard to see. But let's see what we can do here to find a couple of good roosters. They're all over here now. They're probably scared to death. There's a good looking rooster right there. There's a good looking one. First rooster. I don't even know if I'm on camera now. Let's see where we at. I think I was on camera. So I shouldn't have too hard of a time finding some roosters. There's some pretty good roosters in here. That one right there looks like a good one. I think, yep. That's a good, no, that's a hen. That's a rooster. Let me check that one right there. Oh, calm down. So I got the 3 roosters. I'm going to get one more for good measure. This one, right there. Right there, you look good. All right. I'll be right back with you. New breeders are in there. You might be able to see them. A couple of hens, a couple of roosters running around, the rest of them are on the other side. I'm gonna go ahead and fill up their feeder while I'm out here. Just so they there you go. Okay, that's most of the battle, honestly. I've got a handful of birds left over here. I'm not sure how many. I gotta go count them up. Maybe 10 or so that just need to get processed. If I pull any out of there that look like overly large, like that rooster there looks pretty good, but I don't think he's really any bigger. If I pull any out of there that are overly large, I'll come back and look through here and see if I can find a smaller one to switch them out with. But honestly, they're all pretty close to the same size. I don't know that it's gonna matter. Let's see what we got here. 9. 9 birds left, so that's not too bad. So, same process I did before. We're going to dispatch them, take them over there and process them. You don't need to watch that on film. You've seen it already. You just kind of saw the process. This is a pretty quick way to do it. So, yeah, cuts my feed bill down. And I guess that's it. I guess that's it for this video. little to the point, kind of what was going on today. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And as always, God bless.